So I've been sitting here talking to myself for like a solid 10 minutes now. That's a big oof. I wonder how far back this is actually going to go. Anyways, hello everybody. Welcome. This is a little bit of an impromptu new thing that I'm doing, as you can tell. Pardon the bathrobe. It's cold as hell in my apartment right now. I think everybody can hear me fine. Everything's good now. Let's see. Oh, I need to mute my Discord. Are we good? I can just trim this beginning part off. I don't really mind. That was a big F. I'm gonna have to drop out of Discord for a moment. Okay, anyways, hello everybody. So we do have the new... Does it show everything that I just was streaming for the last 10 minutes as like the beginning of this video? I don't think it does. I think it literally just what I've been here for. Sweet. Okay, that's fine. At least I know where to start, which is the beginning. This build's under NDA, but I'm not under NDA. Damn it, Sean. This, of course, you guys are going to be able to ask me questions and everything. I'm probably going to try to answer most of them at the end if I can, if I don't already answer them going through this whole process, but I'm going to try to kind of speed this up. I do have a delivery driver that was supposed to be here like 20 minutes ago, but yeah, you know how that is. So just don't be alarmed if you hear a sudden knock at my door. We were waiting for 10 minutes. I know, I'm so sorry. I was literally sitting here doing my whole stream, talking to myself and the camera for a solid 10 minutes. And that's the second time that I've done that this week. And it's just sitting there with this big blue go live button on the other screen because I'm used to having it set to auto start. But enough rambling. Basically, the important things that I'm seeing here in the testing focus is they want people to really test the refinery decks. We've got visual improvements coming, restricted area rework, Lagrange point, spacescaping. We've got elevator panels that are all going to be updated. The new tractor beam is coming, ship entry identification, mining UI. We're going to go into this a lot more, obviously, in a minute here. There's some known issues here that I think are actually really funny that I want to point out, such as all asteroids now spawn as 100% inert material. That's pretty funny. Very frustrating, I imagine, for the people that might not notice this and immediately go in to try to test out mining. There's another one that's pretty good too. Oh yeah, outposts, HTMS Han and HTMS Perlman are floating above the planetary surface. So probably not the best places to go test stuff out at the moment. They have added space station refinery decks, dedicated areas and rest stops that allow players to drop off mined materials to be refined or buy new mining equipment, which I think is absolutely huge. The fact that they haven't already had this kind of frustrated me because there were several times where I would go mine at the Lagrange points and nothing. Wouldn't have any chance of trying to sell stuff because you have to fly all the way back to like Port Olisar to get to a refinery, at which point, like, why are you going to bother going all the way out to the Lagrange? This is not PTU, this is evocati, so we're discussing evocati patch notes right now. Spacescaping, Stanton, Lagrange point updates. This is going to be adding that cool like gas cloud effect and a bunch of other stuff to the Lagrange points. Pretty huge. So it looks like, oh, they're trying to fish those out. 1 minute. I'm all in a fluster right now. 1 gigabit left to download it before I can see if I can run this game. New PC is all put together, everything except for a new GPU. Will it run on a Radeon HD 6950? That's rough. That's very rough. I don't know about that. Good luck. Yeah. Maybe. I don't know. I have a 7770 I can go try it on. Let me know. I'm very curious to see how that goes. I'm sure that 1 gigabyte will probably be done by the time this video is over. So multi-tool, initial implementation of a tractor beam device that latches onto a multi-tool that allows the player to control an object of a small distance without physical contact. Its primary use is that of quickly and remotely moving small cargo and other physics-based objects in gravity and 0G. And in 0G, if tethering to large objects, such as asteroids, ships, and stations, can be used as a grapple hook to pull the player toward it. I am, like, incredibly curious if this means that, like, for instance, you're in a situation where you're trying to break into somebody's reclaimer, for instance. I don't know, just to give an example, because I think people might have a better visualization of this. Let's say the elevator is down at the bottom, right? This music. You're running up to the elevator as they go to leave, and armistice zones aren't working, right? Free fly ends tomorrow. So you pull this tractor beam out, and as the elevator goes to shut before the hatch shuts, what if you were to grapple it, right? Or if you're in space and you pull this off in 0G, will it be able to grapple you, like holding onto the bottom of the elevator as you go all the way up, and then let go, and then maybe, I don't know, like pop some railgun shots up at that elevator from inside of the ship, see if you can blow it up? Maybe there's going to be some way to make that work. So I bet there's going to be a lot of fun uses. Maybe we can do some Spider-Man web slinging stuff, set up like a whole bunch of ships out in space, and just like have like a race to have people grapple their way across all of it or something. I don't know. I'm sure we could come up with something. There's a tractor beam UI that displays force and distance gauge, as well as indications if the tether is close to breaking. Players can rotate a tethered item by holding R and moving the mouse cursor. So this is going to be pretty interactive. I'm really excited for this. I was doing like a box mission that was a caterpillar. It was like a crashed caterpillar where you had to pick up this like box of drugs, plus a whole bunch of other stuff was scattered around, like laranite crates and crap. So I imagine that's going to make that kind of stuff a lot faster, especially since maybe you're not going to be weighed down like you are when you're actually carrying it with your hands. This will be really interesting to find out. What's holding me through? Groundbreaking, stability. I have bad news for you from across the pond, my friend. Also, g'day, mate. Stability is not something you're really going to get with an alpha game. I'm not anticipating it at all. It'd be great if we could have it, but I would honestly be okay with them spending the next patch or two just absolutely wrecking the game and leaving it in a state of like maybe 330Ks a day if it means that they get their asses in gear and get some of these professions out. So new FPS weapon, we got the Bearing LMG that's going to be coming out. It's acclaimed for its ability to maintain accuracy while unleashing sustained fire, and it can be purchased at Grimhex. I mean, I think it's just going to be another LMG. LMGs are good. You're able to pump a lot of lead down range really quickly, and you're not really stuck in long range encounters right now. So combine that with the fact that NPCs don't like to really fight. Hold on, my heat. NPCs don't really like to fight. They like to sit there and hide behind a crate until you're within 5 feet of them, say hello to them, shake their hand, pat them on the shoulder, and remind them that they're strong enough to actually fight you. Stand system planetary improvements. Further improvements to planetary detail and asset, which includes... Hold on, let me... I swear, everything's working against me tonight. Includes a detailed global painting pass with consideration of global climate data. I'm wondering if this means that closer to the equator, you're going to see a lot more water, a lot more plant life. We're also refining how object presets are set up to get a more natural and believable read, as well as introducing some new assets to the biome packs, updating the remaining geology assets to the organic shader to utilize the latest features, improved cloud layer visuals on planets, and reintroducing the acidic biome for Hurston and Ariel with Planet Tech V4. Damn, oh, that sucks. I'm sorry about that, Sean. Thing that's really exciting about this is the acidic biome for Hurston and Ariel. And now my cat wants to hang out. That's awesome because new biomes is always great. I'd like to see a little more biodiversity wherever we can in this game, because I feel like seeing all these cool different climates and exploring different atmospheres is what makes a space game a space game. Reintroducing the glossy and icy surfaces on Yela and Lyria. We're also looking to showcase the above improvements for this release on the planets Hurston and Microtech, as well as on the moons Salin, Daymar, Walla, Yela, and Lyria. So a bunch of the moons are getting a pass to look a lot cooler. That's awesome. I would love to have a lot more immersive of a graphic as I'm flying up to the planets. I don't know if you guys have noticed right now, but when you're between that 100 kilometer to 200 kilometer range, you can kind of see the procedural nature of how the planet's been laid out. And I think it's good that they're updating a lot of this. Elevator panel updates. Replace existing utilitarian elevator panel buttons with interactive screens. We've already seen this starting to be implemented through the game. I don't think this is really that huge of a surprise to anybody. Restricted area rework of Area 18 in Lorville. Get excited, people. Removing landing splines at Area 18 and Lorville and updating restricted flight area around the spaceport. I think this means that we're going to see a return of people pad ramming us on our way into Area 18 and Lorville, but I also think that people are going to be a lot less pissed off and more likely to visit those locations because they're not going to be crashing all the damn time. I had a real issue recently with Area 18 where every time I tried to do a caterpillar run, or if I tried to enter atmosphere, if I tried to enter the landing splines at any faster than 200 meters per second, they would just blow me up. I would just detonate. There's the new mining UI refactor. Once this finally hits live, I'm gonna, or at least PTU, I'm gonna do a really in-depth discussion on mining, but basically mining is rapidly changing, and we're gonna see a huge shift in how we perform our mining because of the way that refineries are supposed to work. We're gonna have a whole new UI. You're gonna have a whole new way to use your mining consumables. You're going to be able to see the current state and duration on the UI. There's so much going on, so I'd rather not get into that right now. Countermeasures is really interesting though. There's going to be a big improvement to countermeasures, so the amount of deployed countermeasures will play more of an important role in your chance of spoofing missiles. They're also changing the name of them again. Basically, what they're going to set it up is so that as you're using your countermeasures, the more countermeasures that you throw out, the more likely you are to dissuade the missile. The better the locking technology that the missile has, the more that it's going to require in order to stop the missile. You're going to be able to hold H to just send a whole flood of them, or you're going to be able to tap H to send little bursts of them. I think this is good because it's going to require a lot more attention and focus to be able to stop missiles, and that's all that it really needed at this point. So this is really nice to see. Playable off, it needs to be playable even if it's just content. Yeah, I think you guys are both pulling from the same string at different ends. It needs to be playable, but it needs to be just playable. It doesn't need to be stable. Torpedoes are going to be hitting a lot harder. I think that's important because I was sick of needing 4 or 5 torps to drop a big ship. It should only take a couple of size 9s. That's why they're in the game right now. They can always adjust that later, but there needs to be a much more powerful response to something like a hammerhead or a carrot coming to harass you. Head tracking. I don't use this. I guess this is important to people. There was a weird issue where your mouse would apparently move the head tracking even if you were using a head tracking device. Let me see. Actor head won't snap from left to right if the head tracking angle is above 180 degrees. So there's a whole bunch of weird stuff with that. Quality of life improvements for small ships are huge. They moved the exit actions to a delayed press, which is absolutely great. Now you're no longer... You're no longer going to hit Y on accident and eject yourself out of your ship. What you're going to need to do is actually hit Y and hold it down in order to leave your ship, and you're going to have to hit Alt Y in order to throw yourself out using your eject feature. So that's amazing because I can't tell you how many times I've gone to turn my ship off because I'm trying to fall in atmosphere or pull off some sort of a trick and accidentally hit Y and jump out, or just because I have fat fingers, you know. Axis inversions for EVA strafe axes. That, I believe, means that you're no longer going to have that weird polar state where if you're flipping over in space, you're you hit a certain point where it snags. You're going to be able to completely rotate. Added button to reset velocity limited to SCM speed. I think that's going to be nice. so you don't have to pay quite so much attention to where you're throttling at. You get to pay a little more attention to how you're flying your ship. Space brake is now an axis allowing for variable analog braking. I'm gonna have to figure out how I can fit this onto my sliders, but that's gonna be another more powerful tool to control your ship with a little more accuracy. New non-directional shield hit communications in the ship computers. I don't really know what that means, but we'll probably be checking that out later. Increased the hydrogen fuel tank size of the Nomad and increased the hydrogen fuel tank size of the Mercury Star Runner. There you go, everybody. There you go. You get to fly your favorite new ships now. This is awesome. Improved the Constellation Andromeda flight maneuverability and accelerations, because that thing was flying like a piece of shit. So glad I saw that. Reduced verbosity of some ship computer notifications. That's very helpful. Some of them were a little obnoxious. Increased gloss amount on the hammerhead hull. Shiny boy. I'm all about it. Pitch. Boo, what? Pitch ladder should no longer display while sitting in pilot seats. These are a lot of bug fixes. Let's go through them real quick. Fix an issue that's causing ship canopies to open and close without user input. Hello! Anvil, Hornet, and Gladius, Anvil, Hornet, and Glaive are now going to be a lot more usable, because I couldn't fly my Hornet. Every time I got into that thing, it was just cockpit open and closing constantly. Fix an issue where decoupled space brake caused the velocity vector to change. That's absolutely huge. I don't really care. I mean, you can make so much money with both of those ships. I don't think that fuel cost is actually going to be a concern. Weapon sound effects should now play correctly when vehicle weapons are fired. Please don't. Okay, so I was using the NN14 cannons today, the neutron cannons, and they sounded fine. They weren't super loud, and they didn't make me hurt my head when going through my headphones. If that's not the case anymore, I'm going to be really upset, because they were like way too loud for a couple of patches. You can now store your ships at New Babbage and Lorville. That's awesome. Fixed an issue that could cause rest stop elevators to duplicate, making themselves inaccessible. That is nice. That happened to me a couple times. Character hands will no longer turn their flight stick in the opposite direction. That's just I like how that's in major bug fixes. Like, that's literally just an aesthetic. Fixed an issue that caused weapons to twitch and move on a player when switching to third-person camera mode. Meh. Fixed an issue causing the Animus missile launcher to not let players equip a fresh magazine once the currently attached one was used. That was a little bit of a problem, but I don't see people using the missile launcher too much right now. Nomad self-destruct audio will no longer stop. I don't know, that's weird. MSR is huge and has incredible maneuverability. Exactly, the MSR is a really good ship, so yeah, huge fuel tank. We'll get into a whole discussion about that at the end of this. Hold on, we're almost over. Fixed multiple missing building geometry assets while in transit to city gates in Lorville. So I wonder if that's going to fix that issue where you were getting out of your like hab or your elevator and immediately falling through the atmosphere, because that sucked. You just like, all right, I guess I have to backspace and hope that my bed spawns in this time. Fixed several areas around the edge of medium-sized hangars at Grimhex that were missing breathable atmosphere. I noticed that a couple times. You'd like randomly choke on your way to run into your ship. What was there was one more. Hold on. Nope, that's it. That's the big stuff. So, I'm gonna go ahead and throw this right here. If you guys want to discuss this. Let's go ahead and see what chat's saying right now. Oh man. Sorry, I was like half reading this whole time. I turned off dev account because I bought ships. I had to call them so I could order pizza. That happened to me once. I spent like $500 on ships irresponsibly. And then they were like, yeah, you've had like all these transactions from Europe. And it's like, yeah, can't you see that I've done this before? Like, how many spaceships do you have to buy for your bank to give you that much side eye? I don't know. That's a good question. Breaking on, back to the stability argument. No mention of the Talon. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, the Talon's coming. Hold on. Where is it? The Talon's coming. That's confirmed. 100%. Both variants of the Talon are definitely coming. Hold on. This is the raw pace data. Control F Talon. Look. Here's why. Yeah, that's fantastic spelling. Here is why we know that it's coming. They're both right here. They guaranteed us that it was going to be coming in December. Guaranteed us. But I pretty sure they're going to deliver on this. We've already seen pretty solid data mining on the talent to show us that it's going to be coming. So based on what we're already seeing here, this is done. This is done. This is done. So this roadmap's dead. I think that they've completely moved on from this and they've just stopped updating it. These are all done. Maybe reputation's not quite making it. Hold on, let me go back. I don't see reputation either. Maybe it's just not part of the evocati stuff. Maybe it's covered under the NDA and it's not in the patch notes. Who knows? I mean, yes, but not quite so loud. Like, it's okay if it's louder. Just don't make it like to the point where I have to mute my game audio, you know? What's the use of a new processing UI if when you go to sell the materials it fails? Well, I think that's, you have to keep in mind that right here, this is evocati's known issues. So I would anticipate that this is one of the things that they're wanting you to test, because if you take a look, they're wanting people to test out the mining UI and the space station refinery decks, which means that they're trying to get that fixed before it hits live. I'm sure that's probably their primary concern for this patch. There's no weapons audio slider in the settings. There's only effects audio slider. Yeah, I thought rep was supposed to be here too, because we do see rep v1, because we already have rep version 0. So that's very interesting to see. Hopefully this is just something that hasn't been thrown into the evocati because it's not something they really care about testing. Maybe reputation's one of those things that's so easy for them to work out that it doesn't require the extensive testing. Because remember, a lot of the stuff that they're throwing out in this patch right now is like the primary concerns that they have for this patch. It's not going to be like fine tuning or looking for stability or anything like that. So if you're trying to read for that, it might not be the best way to go. Please find lots of inert asteroids for us. Yeah, basically. No, they're basically saying don't mine asteroids, go mine other places. This is done. That's done. What's not done? What else is not done? Those are all done. They didn't mention this, but again, I don't think this is really something that's going to be too hard for them to implement. That's done. Yeah, so it looks like the only things they haven't confirmed in this latest patch for evocati, probably because they're going to save the talent for PTU. That's usually when that happens, or it's covered under the NDA. Likely covered under the NDA because they don't want people to be making videos about them and posting them on YouTube yet. So yeah, very, very interesting stuff that we've got going on here. It's kind of interesting to compare it here to the roadmap. It does look like they were pretty successful in meeting a lot of the goals that they had set with this 3.12 roadmap, especially for Q4, if we're going to be getting this in the next couple of weeks. So I'm actually really happy with what I see here. Not gonna lie. Not sure there's really too much. Guessing evocati is the test server. Evocati is the step before it hits private test PTU. So you have evocati, PTU wave 1, PTU wave 2, open PTU live. Okay, so that's the order that it all gets released in. They also are sworn to secrecy and everything. Yeah, they are the Illuminati of Star Citizen. A lot of them, I'm sure, are like $25,000 donors and stuff like that. A lot of content creators that have far more clout than I'm probably ever going to get. So, yeah, it's pretty secret right now. This is obviously somebody wanting to risk their NDA to post all of this. That's why it's on Pastebin, so it can protect their identity. I don't even know who this person is. I haven't really looked too far into it, but I'm actually glad that they gave us this information, because I had people asking today when 3.12 is going to come out, and this gives us a good idea of them trying to get this done before Christmas. So taking a look at this here, I see it being done. I see evocati probably being done next Friday. Wave 1 PTU maybe until then. They push PTU here try to release it by Christmas, if not by the end of the year. It's doable. It's doable. They could even do, because here's the thing, we don't know if evocati is testing right now. I'm pretty sure evocati is testing right now. So if they started today, they go for a week. They do wave 1. They do open PTU / wave 2 over the course of that final week. They could have it released and ready by Christmas Eve, so that they drop everything Wednesday, they take that server hit, and then hopefully everything's set up to handle the holiday weekend. Otherwise, they wait until they come back and try to rock it through New Year's week, New Year's Day and New Year's Eve. But I see them trying to get it before Christmas. I don't know. If I were them, that's what I would aim for. That's what's going to get you the most traffic. That's what's going to get you the most attention for your game. Yeah. I'm really hopeful about this, guys. I'm really happy to see that this came out today. I need to get going and basically eat my dinner. I did hope to make this a nice shorter format. If you guys like this, please give it a thumbs up. Let me know that you like this so I can do more of these in the future. A lot of head tracking talk, getting ready for VR. Oh, nah. I don't want to even talk about that right now. Oh, I hope they get everything done before they go to VR, okay? Get everything done before VR. Done. Tell you his work on right now. For the 21st. Game is done, going to see full run. I'm like, all right. Also, I've got the Discord down in the links below. If you guys want to join us there, discuss this a little further, just basically hop in and find people to play Star Citizen with. We're always there. I'm going to go, though. I got to eat dinner.